So I'm here today with Yoni from Into the Skin to talk a bit about tattoos and tattoo culture. Yoni, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Alright, so let's just jump on in. So when you were growing up as a kid, what was it that got you interested in tattoos?
I've been listening to sort of like heavy music from a pretty young age, sort of like 11 kind of thing, and obviously within that kind of like culture, I guess, musical culture, there's a lot of like tattooed people and that, and just just started to get really interested into the art, like within like representing the music and sort of stuff like that, and then
and then it stemmed from there. Was it like a thing when you were in school, like were you one of those kids that just kind of sat in the back with one headphone in and like hung up and drawn tattoos and stuff?
No, because I'm a bit old and headphones things wasn't like that discreet back then, but
the dictaphone plug.
But yeah, no, always been drawing and stuff, so from there kind of went like towards that route really.
So was being a tattoo artist always something then that you wanted to do from like an early age?
I think I remember telling one of my friends at high school when I was about 14, I said to him, I said one day I'll be a tattoo artist, and he laughed at me because back then it was a bit of a weird thing to say, I guess, you know, like, and just stuck with me really, like started to buy tattoo magazines and look into it, and like I said, just always been drawing and that, and then it kind of tried to go this way somehow.
Okay, so like how does it work, like going into being a tattoo artist? Like how do you start to go about that?
There'll be different ways. Personally, I started as a body piercer to get like a foot into, you know, what it was kind of thing. I worked for a couple of years as a piercer where there was a tattoo artist there, and I was helping him out with stencils and doing little drawings for him and that. And from there he saw that, you know, I wanted to get into it, and then I just jumped on, you know, the opportunity. Really.
You kind of became like an apprentice.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't see it right now, but obviously you've got tattoos yourself. So what was the first tattoo you got, and how old were you when you got it?
I was 19 years old when I got my first one. It was a black pattern on my ankle area. Like it's covered up now.
Right, okay.
It's all gone. But something I drew myself. And
oh, okay. So it was actually a design you came up with?
Yeah, it was my.
Is that why you've got it covered up now?
No. Just got bigger work.
Oh, okay. And over time, I was like,
it was like in the way.
Yeah. I got you. So the last kind of like 10, 15 years, maybe 20, a stretch, tattoos, especially in the UK and kind of like around Europe, and I suppose the States as well, tattoos have kind of started becoming more mainstream. What do you think of that?
I think that more of like the kind of art that you get on you know, like for the last, like you said, 10, 15 years, some artists have come out like doing extremely beautiful work, you know, something that back 5, 10 years before that was just not doable, but like people were not like venturing into this kind of art, you know. So people, I think, were seeing tattoos as like something a bit heavy, a bit like menacing, because it was mainly like skulls and whatever, you know. But and as it's progressed, then people have come out with all these like beautiful things, and obviously nowadays if you switch the TV on, any celebrities is heavily tattooed, footballers, rugby players, you know, all of that, and that is making tattoos extremely part of nowadays society.
Kind of acceptable, almost.
Acceptable. Yeah, definitely.
But there's still, I mean, as much as people are tattooed now, and as much as kind of like you can say it's become part of society, there's still kind of like a stigma about it. Like,
I mean,
you look at like job applications and stuff like that. It's like, requires no tattoos, or you've got to hide your tattoos. Like, I was working in a supermarket, and I had this tattoo on show, and they're like, you can't have that, Sean, you can't have that, and I was like,
it's after that. Obviously, it is down to the people, and the people are allowed to have an opinion. You know, if it's something that really you're going to start getting discriminated about, you know, and then that's a bit that's pushing it a little bit. But some people, like you say, for jobs and that, I guess they will be allowed to say, if you're heavily tattooed or you've got something showing that you're supposed to wear a shirt for work. I guess they are allowed, but I know I have friends that are heavily tattooed up to side and they're working like next lush,
I was like,
and they are heavily tattooed. So there's places out there that will, actually they will use that as, as a selling point, I guess. You look at placards, adverts for certain brands and that, and people actually got tattoos on show, and that actually I think is a selling point. People will be like, oh, I've got tattoos, I'll buy that. Literally,
So just going back to like being in school real quick, were you always good at like art and stuff like that?
I was gonna say I've always been drawing, painting from like an early age. My mum is an artist, and she's still now giving like art classes and sort of stuff. So I guess it runs with me. My brothers do jobs that actually involve drawing and that. So I guess it's kind of part of us, and
So you're just saying about your mum being an artist. Was she accepting of like you wanting to kind of dive into the tattoo culture?
No. Really?
This is interesting.
I was very actually. I mean, I know my mum, and I knew it was not going to go. I knew it was not going to go too. Is it? Too well. It was not going to go too well, kind of thing. But in time, I showed her what I was doing, and she still got that thing about tattoos that it's kind of like it's changing your body forever and sort of stuff. But it's also a very good personal way of like saying things,
self-expression as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, I suppose like moms are always going to be like that. I mean, like my mom's the exact same. Like every time, like when I got this tattoo, or my first tattoo, she's like, "Oh, yeah, it looks nice, but it's your body, Sean. It's like,
you gotta make sure.
Baby.
And that. I mean, I still don't. I'm 35 and I still don't show my tattoos to my mum. But it's just out of respect because I know that she,
right, exactly. Like
she won't like it, and I'm not doing it to piss her off.
So you never like got into it to spite your parents. It was just like, this is what I'm passionate about.
And she knows now. She knows now. She, like I said, she saw my work and she's like, well, actually, like
it is art.
It's actually
So we're talking about like tattoos being in the mainstream. Are you happy about that? Like that they're becoming more mainstream, or is there still like part of you that's like, oh, this was an underrated thing?
I'm 50-50 on it because obviously there's TV shows about it and that which brings people to us. People see certain things on TV and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get it. After that, the TV shows in themselves, I don't think they portray the right side of tattooing as such. There's no like in depth of what the process is and this and that. And when we talk to some people that think that it's going to be like on these TV programs, like I come in, you do this, that, it's going to take 2 hours and that. No, it's actually going to take a whole day to do. And it is going to be painful and it is going to be this, that, the other. So the mainstream thing helps us as business people, I guess, to maintain the business to an extent, and then maybe showing more of what it actually involves would probably be better.
Well, that's another thing actually, is like, so obviously you were saying about TV shows and you've got the likes of LA Ink, Miami Ink, tattoo fixtures and all that, and it does, like, I'm sitting there watching them, and now that I'm like a inked dude, I'm sitting there like, this is so much like easier than, because I mean I've heard stories of like LA Ink, there's like 6 months waiting lists for all this, and the cameras are just showing these people like they walk in and it's like no problem dude, like, just come in, sit down, it's chill. Like I mean with these programs, like you said, there is actually, you have to send a storyline and a big deposit and you get picked or you don't, and that. Obviously if you go into a tattoo studio, then you'll have to speak to the artist, get a drawing done, leave a deposit, make an appointment, kind of thing. All this, if it's a small design, can be done there and then, kind of thing. Sometimes, you might have to wait a week or two for us to do the drawing and that, but
it's actually a sitting down process and, you know, going in depth with what needs doing, like we've done with yours, you know, what needs doing, how it's going to be done, and just to make sure that the person is 110% happy, you know, at the end before they book.
Yeah. Well, that's a big thing about tattoos, is there's kind of like this, like, I mean, I walk in here and, you know, you've got a baby in here, like there seems to be like a big sense of family about tattoo shops a lot. Do you think that's important?
The baby here today, just because the manager just at the elevator, she's going to show it, and that obviously past the waiting area, you know, there won't be anyone under the age of 18 coming in, kind of thing. I think if you keep the atmosphere in the studio relaxed yet professional, you know, people are all going to feel at ease, you know, and we get that a lot here, you know, people know that they can come in. If there's a bit of wait, they'll get a cup of tea, they get a biscuit, you know, and a biscuit, and you know, there's no like attitude basically. You know, the shop, you know, motto mainly is to be who you are, and mainly no attitude, no nonsense kind of thing.
We should probably actually mention that baby is not here to get tattooed today.
No.
It's all fine.
I don't think so.
No. But that's the thing you were saying about, like, there's no kind of attitude or like egos about the place. Like, I think that's one thing where, like, if you walk outside a tattoo shop, you kind of do get intimidated. You're like, oh, you know, I'm almost afraid to go in case, like, I ask and you know, they think what I'm doing is stupid. Like, is it important to kind of make people feel comfortable straight away?
Yeah, I mean, there's people that come in with certain ideas that I won't be able to do because it's either not the style that I do, or I'm not comfortable with like the design kind of thing. And I would tell people, obviously in the most polite way, I'm not going to go, do you know what, this is ridiculous. But if I can work with a person to sort of like go, well, maybe try this, try that, you know, and soon people actually, like I said, you know, they ease into the fact that, okay, well, the artist knows what he's on about, so, you know, the element of trust comes in, and people soon kind of go, okay, well, I'll let you do a design, and then if I'm happy with it, then I'll book, you know.
So you were talking there about like your style or whatever. What style do you like specialize in specifically?
I do quite a lot of old school, traditional tattoos, so like this sort of like a Sailor Jerry type, you know, bold colours and like big lines kind of thing, and also sort of like smooth black and grey, like semi-realistic kind of work. Like these are the two that I really enjoy. I'm a versatile artist. I got trained to do everything. So in a day I can do a bit of Japanese work and a bit of script. The next day I'll do traditional and something cartoony. You know, I can adapt to everything. You know, and I love doing everything. You know, but I get more enjoyment out of like just like that.
Yeah. I remember just like from being a wrestling fan. So a lot of wrestlers have got tattoos, and I remember like around 2003-04 there was a big thing about like tribal tattoos, and just in culture in general, and now tribal tattoos have completely faded away, and the Sailor Jerry and like traditional stuff are coming back into like being very popular. Have you noticed, like, is there any other trends starting to kind of pick up again tattoo wise?
There's some very like bold black work that comes out. A lot of people just use like just black ink and are going to do like something like a Sailor Jerry style tattoo, but just like instead of putting colour, it's just going to be this like solid blocks, which is like in the same process as doing like a tribal tattoo, I guess, you know. Talking about tribal, there's some people actually putting elements of tribal back into like other designs, like mixing together and that, and I think it's cool, you know. Like I've done a lot of tribal when I started to tattoo, you know, because that's this thing that you learn, you know, like and if someone comes in and says, oh, I want a piece of tribal, I'll be like, yeah, because I haven't done any for a long time, and I'll be like, yeah, just like mass bit of black.
Just off the tribal books there.
Yeah.
So a big part of like tattoos and stuff like that is tattoo conventions. Have you been to many?
I've been to a fair few, yes. Not to work. I worked only two a few years ago, but going there, it's it's really good. It's really like you get, there's so much to see, so much to like take in as an artist, you know, like, and then you meet obviously like what to me would be like celebrities down to artists and sort of stuff like that, you know, and usually people really sound so, you know, they're kind of like, yeah, you know, when I'm done, pop back kind of thing. You'll just have to buy to, I mean, no, that's obviously if you're into the tattoo scene, but if you're not really into it, I've had friends that came along and stuff and they were not really like that much into it and just living with like, oh, I'm gonna get a tattoo, you know, and yeah, I think it's a good like eye opener, you know.
So when you work these tattoo conventions, like, because obviously you're tattooing people there, how does it work? Like, do people just come up to the booth and like, I'd like a tattoo, or do they book it? Or?
Yeah, it's choice of the artist to have some like designs ready for walk-ups. You know, people just come in, I'll have that. Yeah, come back in 10 minutes if it's tattooing or whatever. Or there's people that will have bookings, like pre-made bookings for the weekend because they want to do like a certain piece for competition, sort of stuff like that. So yeah.
One last question, finally. I'm going to let you go after this. People who are getting their first tattoos, what advice would you give them?
To make sure it is what they want, like 200%. You know, not because their friend got a tattoo and you know they have to get one done. You know, so a tattoo is permanent. You know, like we can't rub it off. You know, we can put it on you very quick if it's small. To take it off, it's going to be a very long process. You know, there is people that regret the tattoos because they rush into it, and it's a shame to see. But anyone that want their first tattoo done, just to make sure they source the good artist, they source a good studio and the right artist, you know. So sitting, like we said earlier, sitting down with the artist, making sure that, you know, the design is perfect and all of this sort of that, it has to be 200%, you know.
200%, that's it. Absolutely 100%, 200% correct. Okay, Yoni, thanks very much.
No problem, Sean, pleasure.
Hope you'll be back here soon enough anyway, for another one.